Oh, that worked out perfect.
Oh, really? Let's see. Twitch, Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I'm like, wait a minute. I
Where
just
am I?
make sure I'm on the right. There we go. Make sure I'm on the right platform. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. Oh man, fun times, fun times.
Yes, sir. Oh man. Um. So I got these frames yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I got them at the beginning of the year and broke the frames.
No,
We ain't
no.
gonna we ain't gonna talk about how I broke them, but just know they got broke.
Uh,
And then because I got two pair of glasses
yeah.
and I just been wearing the other pair. I think you've already seen those
Right.
little gold frames. And
What's up,
hold
Panda?
on. Hey, what's good? What's good? Welcome on in, everybody.
D Wade, I appreciate that. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yeah.
Hey, how old are you now, bro?
Actually, 3 years? Is it three?
Three.
I'm pretty sure it's three.
I know for me, November will be three. It'd be three for me.
Or
Um,
or was
this
it?
past was two.
Or maybe it's two. I can't remember. Might have been two. I don't know.
Well, you've been streaming longer than 3 years, though, right?
Right, yeah, because I started. Well, no, because I started in 2020, so this would have been
Yeah,
year three. Because I actually started
right.
streaming in May of 2020, but I didn't switch over to Twitch until August of 2020. Hey, yo,
Okay,
John, what's up,
okay.
John? Welcome in.
Good, folks. Welcome, welcome.
So,
Um, but yeah, like I was saying, it took me like almost a month to get these frames,
mm-hmm.
and it's just I feel like shipping is slow with everything nowadays.
Right?
Everything. So if I don't have to order anything, I don't.
Yeah, no, man, I'm with you. Like my mom. What the heck is that?
What's up?
I just had something weird go off in my headset.
You know, the stream say Fall Guys.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
People like, this ain't Fall. These are
This.
two guys. This ain't Fall Guys. It's two bearded guys, not Fall
Hey,
Guys.
right?
False advertisement.
Chat. That's the that Holy Ghost apparition that always be in the
Hey,
chat.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man.
Oh, um, so this is new.
This is definitely new, chat, because normally
This is
we're normally on YouTube, but
yeah,
tonight is a special stream.
yeah, this is
But
new.
but how is everyone doing? How was your Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? And I'm gonna turn this light on a little bit higher because I'm tired of going in and out. Here we go.
Well, while we're waiting on everybody to answer that question, I'm ready for the weekend. Although I gotta work tomorrow, but
Same,
I mean,
same.
to me, it's really not that big of a deal, man. Like
Yeah.
when you love what you do, what do they say? It doesn't feel like work.
Right.
So you know, if I want to take my kids with me, I can take them with me if I feel like it. So, and I think in the morning I got about three appointments, and then I don't have anything to do until like tomorrow evening.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of clients then, and then we'll probably boot up a stream, maybe about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for the weekend.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not ready. I mean, if I'm the only reason I say I'm not ready is because it's gonna be 102 tomorrow, and I know I'm gonna have to be out
Oh
there paving that lot all. Well, I ain't gonna say all day, but for the majority
man,
of the day. Now, if I sell a few cars, I will be okay. But if I'm just dead in the water, I'm gonna be mad.
let's hope you sell some cars, man. That sword
Right,
ain't in vain.
right,
You out
right.
there in that heat, bro. I'm not outside all day, but it's like half and half with me.
Yeah.
I got clients that I train outside, and then I got some indoors. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's really starting to become hard training the ones outside.
Yeah.
Today I actually took off early.
Mhm.
Um, I took my last appointment at about 4 o'clock, and I decided to come home because I was just so tired.
Right.
Like I just worn out, and some of it's my fault.
Mhm.
Me and the wife, Martrice, somewhere in the chat maybe. I worked out earlier yesterday, and then she worked out yesterday evening. So I just joined her because I was feeling good,
Yeah.
and then you don't think about how you're gonna feel the next day when you have done the deed. And speaking of workouts, how did you guys workout go yesterday?
It went good. Before I answer that, John says, "Not gonna lie, I'm not ready for this weekend because I don't do anything." See, and that's the thing with me, John. Cause like I work 6 days a week, so when I come home, like I really don't want to do anything. Like even on my off days, I just want to lay around and be a bum and all the other stuff. And I know that sounds bad saying I want to be a bum, but I'm just being honest
No, it
with you.
don't.
I'm just being completely honest with you, cause that's my time to rest. That's definitely my
Facts.
time to rest. Um, but to answer your question, D, uh, it went really well. We did cardio. We did cardio on the bike for like 5 minutes as like a warm up, and then we did because we go to Planet Fitness and we did the little 30-minute circuit. Um, and I started off and then she came right behind me. We did. I told her let's do at least 15, 20 reps of whatever weight you can manage.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that and basically did a full body workout, and then we did the stairmaster for like 5 minutes. And then
How
we,
did, how did that feel?
dude, when I woke up this morning, I had to put my knee brace on because my knee was like it wasn't throbbing, but it was sore. I was like, yeah, make sure I put my
Yeah,
knee braces on next time.
toe you up, man.
Man, if
That's
I
their master's it's a freaking beast.
look, if I was a cussing man, that would have been my
Fact. Oh
day.
gosh, some words would have came out.
Yeah.
A lot of words would have came out. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Once upon a time, that machine would have got straight cussed out, man.
Because it was
But
terrible.
well, I'm glad your workout went great because I
Yeah.
know for me, my body hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so sore right now. I haven't felt like this in a while. Um. I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but it's who the heck wants to be sore?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like after so many years of working out, you would think, oh, you still get sore? Like every so often, I still get sore.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be able to tolerate it a lot better when I was younger, but now it's like if I'm sore, I want to lay down.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything.
You want
So
to be
I
a
don't know. We
bum.
can
That's all it is.
look. And hey, whoever got something to say about that, come see me, man, because I don't
Right.
mind. Man, if I work all freaking week, okay, so do you.
Mm-hmm.
We can have one day where we just lay down and do nothing.
Right.
Like nothing. Now, when you have kids, see, you're too lucky right now. You don't get that luxury no
Hey
more.
man, don't put that curse on me yet.
Just saying,
Don't
man.
put that curse on me yet.
Hey, that's not a curse. That's wisdom. That is wisdom.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Hey, what's that? What's the Bible verse that says, thou shalt not stop learneth. Always keep learning. as you go.
Right?
The elders trying to teach you something over here.
I feel you. I feel you. I do feel you,
uh,
man. So,
um. Well, two bearded guys. 1 and 2. We over here on Twitch right now, of course. Hosting by my brother, Bearded Legend Gaming. We in the house.
the bearded asylum.
Um. Hey, there you go. I was just talking to wifey. I said, "Do you think I should like shape it up, like trim my beard a little bit?" And she's like, "Nope, just leave it alone.
Mm.
You know how long it take. You know how long it takes you to
Yeah.
to get it off." I said, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "Why do I always have these thoughts when we get ready to do a podcast? Like shaving your beard and you gotta. I can never do this as long as we have this going.
Yeah.
I can never shave my beard as long as we have this podcast going."
Okay.
Which I can see far into the future.
Far
I
into
just,
it.
I just see it. What's up, Mar? There she is, right there.
Martrice, welcome in and thank you so much for the happy affiliate anniversary. The happy affiliate anniversary.
Philly,
The
Philly,
Philly.
Philly.
I see you trying to sneak in there. Thank you so much, Initiality, for your.
Yeah, I'm here too. You know, not just face to face, but digitally as well.
Right.
Mm.
So, are you working to be a studio producer? Is that what we got going on here?
Oh man, dude, yeah, you just the secret's out. The
Oh,
secrets. I never showed it. I didn't show y'all this room. Y'all only saw one room. Y'all only saw one room. And since we're on Twitch, I'm like, man, I get some exposure on my bro's channel. So I might as well go ahead and bring out the big guns.
okay.
And this $50,000 studio I got in the background here, man. Just
Man.
we edit videos and we got a couple of local artists that come through.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
if you need somebody else in the booth, hit your boy up. But
Yes, sir,
hey,
man. We can fly you out here. You'll be here in like an hour.
dang, you got the Mach 10 jets.
I got a jet, bro.
This man got a Mach 10.
Hey, might as well go ahead and go all out. People already think I got it made, man.
Touche.
Oh, you're a personal trainer. I'm like, what that's supposed to mean? I ain't a brain surgeon.
That's funny. That is funny.
Shoot.
Well,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen of the Minion Mafia, welcome in. Hope everybody has had a wonderful week. But today marks the official charity stream of 2023 for the JDRF Game to Give. My theme this year is Don't Stop Believing. And the reason I chose this, I'm sure everybody in the chat has heard of the song by Journey, Don't Stop Believing. It's one of my favorite songs, by the way. Yes, I'm not as black as you think I am. But anyway.
Okay.
But the reason I went with Don't Stop Believing is because I feel like this can tie into this charity, along with diabetes and like life in general. You know, we don't want to stop believing that there's a cure for type 1 diabetes. We don't want to stop believing in a better future for diabetics around the globe. And we don't want to stop believing in ourselves, because if we stop believing in ourselves, who's going to do it for us? So I felt like that was a really great, I guess, theme for this year's charity. But we are raising money. Now, the charity actually goes from today up until the 27th of August. But my charity, and your jaws are probably gonna drop when I say this, but my charity is starting from today and going all the way until next June, when the season ends for the charity.
Oh wow.
So we're definitely doing it big this year. We got a lot of stuff planned. I'm still waiting on some of my other chaotic incentives to come in, but once they come in, it's definitely on and popping. But as you can see, we are raising $3,000 for this charity. Normally, I would do 1,000, but I feel like since we're doing it since all the way to next June, we would try to hit 3,000 and maybe go beyond that. You know. But if you would like to donate, you can actually type in the chat exclamation JDRF, and you'll have the donation link pop up. And I think anybody can type it. I don't think it's just the mods. Or you can scan the QR code at the bottom left of the screen, and it'll take you right to the donation page. We had someone donate $20 the other day, and I had to eat a very spicy pickle, and
Oof.
it was hot. It was very hot.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was tough.
Spicy.
But a little bit about what we're going to be talking about tonight. If you've never been to one of our podcasts, this is the Two Bearded Guys podcast. We are normally on YouTube, but since it is the beginning of the charity event, I wanted to do a special podcast over here on Twitch because both of our communities here, we have a big following, a big community, and we share the same people. So
Pretty much, yeah.
but we wanted to do this podcast over here on Twitch just to get some more exposure out. We had a big turnout last Friday on YouTube, and we definitely want to see a bigger turnout tonight if possible. But we're going to be talking about type 1 diabetes, specifically my journey with diabetes. You'll get to hear my story if you've never heard it. I'm going to go into detail about the events that took place up to my diagnosis. We'll answer any questions that you may have. And guys, if you do have any questions, make sure that you highlight it so we'll be able to see it.
Right.
So,
Point it out.
yeah. But that's really all I got for my little spiel here. So, but again, we definitely thank everybody for being here. We appreciate the love and support. So without further ado, we just gonna hop right on into it, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I've always known about, diabetes, specifically type 2, because, me being in the fitness industry, I've just come across a lot of people who have type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know enough about that disorder to know that a lot of it is based on just really poor habits and too much mass being carried on the frame.
Yeah.
And it can be reversed. It can be, which, I kind of figured, well, all diabetes probably could have been reversed because I had no type of like awareness of type 1 diabetes, but I've always known that there was like a difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So, you are like, you're literally the first person that I've like personally like talked to
Mm-hmm.
and met who has type 1 diabetes and lives with it and seems to be living a pretty normal life, and because I just hear stories and things of that nature. But I think with you, and I think I've told you this in the past, what I respect the most is that you don't like harp on it. You don't, you're not down and out because you have it. You turned it around and you turned the negative, or what could have been a negative, into a positive. And now you're doing things like this right here, doing a fundraiser, trying to, for the JDRF. And I think that's amazing. I think that's great. And I've always been an advocate for people doing fundraisers or charity events for causes that they believe in. And this isn't just something that you believe in. This is something that you're living.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done charity streams in the past for homelessness, feeding families. That's not
Yeah.
really something I've ever experienced before.
Mm-hmm.
I've done charity streams for um, providing funding for individuals who need mental health counseling who can't afford it. And again, that's something that I've never really had to struggle with. But I'm an advocate for these things. I'm an advocate for it. But for you, it's different. I feel like it's personal. You're not just advocating for um, a cure for diabetes. You're living it in hopes that your efforts will one day find a cure
Yeah.
for type 1 diabetes. I really, really feel that. Um, and I just want to ask, like, before, I go any further, would it be okay if I took your link for your donations and put it in my own channel, just in case anybody wanted to contribute to the cause as well? They can have a command and they can, hey, I'll let them know what it is, what the cause is for, just so that I can expand that, to my community as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the more people that they get their eyes on it, the better it'll
Right,
be.
right.
Because one thing that I always say in my streams, even if you can't donate, if you would like to share it on your socials, let's get the word out.
Yeah,
Because my mission is to not only reach my community, but also to reach other diabetics. Cause there are other diabetic streamers that I've never met, and some of them will come into my channel just because they see JDRF in my title, or they see diabetes or anything like that, and that's how I've met people, just through the tags.
right.
But I feel like the more people that put exposure on it, that bring it out to light, I think the better it would be as far as donations and things of that nature.
Oh,
Yo,
absolutely.
yo,
Yeah.
Carlos, welcome in.
Going on, brother?
How's
Welcome.
it? How is it going, sir?
He said, I'm here.
He is here.
We see you. We see you. Good to see you, man. Um, so let's educate you, educate the people here and even myself,
hmm
because I'm still a student at the subject. What exactly is type 1 diabetes?
Okay, so type 1 diabetes, it is a autoimmune disease where basically your pancreas stops producing insulin. And the insulin is what fights the blood sugars that run in our stream in our bloodstream every time we eat certain things, or we eat
Right.
sweets or anything like that. But ultimately, it's when the pancreas stops producing little to none uh, insulin.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah. That's a breakdown. Go
mhm.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, that's it's different. Now, when I get into my story, I'm gonna actually explain
Hmm.
like my diagnosis, because it's gonna be slightly different from actually what type 1 is, but I
Hmm.
still treat it as type 1.
That's interesting. So, is type 1 diabetes, is this something that's like hereditary, or is it a person to person occurrence that just develops over time?
Um, Most people say that it's a hereditary. Like, if you have family members that have it, it's it can pass one generation, go to the next type thing. Um, and that's honestly that's the only way I've really heard of it, is being hereditary.
Mm, okay. I thought so. Carlos says, I'm in the process of changing the whole family dietary plans. Oh, that's big. My eldest is pre-diabetic.
Mm.
Um, We're gonna do our very best to keep her healthy and get the whole. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
how y'all have like a soldier's mentality. Like no one gets left behind.
right.
So it's like
When
you
one
have to
goes,
change.
everybody.
Yes, I love that, Carlos.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah. And if you're saying that she's pre-diabetic, then that means she's more along the lines of type two.
Yeah. Yes. So that right there can. I don't want to make it sound easy, but it can be it can be battled,
Yeah, yeah.
and complete two different beasts. We'll say. Okay, so we know what type 1 diabetes is,
Hmm.
and we know that from what you're saying, research is pointing fingers that it's hereditary or could be hereditary. Well, let's hear your story. I mean, you said that your diagnosis was different,
Yeah,
and I know I've heard it before, but I'm the type of person that needs to hear something like multiple times to like take it in.
yeah.
Like, oh, I missed that part. You know.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Martrice says my dad was a diabetic but didn't know what type he was. I got you.
Um, type 1.
Did so if he used a lot of insulin, then he was definitely type one.
He was type 1.
Yeah, because not many type twos take insulin because type two you don't really have to depend on insulin. It's just more of diet and exercise. Now,
Yeah.
in some cases, you might have to use insulin or they'll give you some type of pill. But type 1, you are definitely insulin dependent. You can't live without it,
Yeah.
or it might not be pretty.
Yeah. I remember he had a his one of his toes or Martrice was it one or multiple toes like removed,
Mm,
and unfortunately, he's no longer with us now, and I think that that's what claimed him
yeah.
was type 1 diabetes. So yeah, if anybody like is wanting to hear about this as far as like education, it would definitely be her. But yeah, man, as far as your story, let us know,
Okay.
how it all began.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, if you weren't in here earlier, chat, I'm going to go into detail. So please excuse me if I get long winded, because I mean, again, you'll have to paint the picture of how everything transpired leading up to my diagnosis. Um, so everything started back in January 2018. At the time, what am I, 36? Yeah, so I was 31 at the time. Um, and I was a full time worker, full time grad student. So I was busy, busy, busy. Uh, I guess you might as well say full time youth minister. So I was all over the place. So I had a lot going on. But of course, I wasn't gonna let that get to me. Well, the week before everything happened, I started to develop some symptoms. Um, And the main symptom that I really the main two symptoms that I really had was excessive thirst and going to the bathroom a lot. So it would be um there would be an instance where I would be thirsty, I would drink something, and then 5 maybe 10 minutes later I had to use the bathroom. Thinking normal,
Yeah,
nothing
right.
too crazy. So I had to go to the bathroom, come back down, get back on my homework, get back to studying, and then I'd get thirsty again like 5 minutes later. So I take another sip, or take another couple drinks, whatever, and then 5 or 10 minutes later, I gotta go back to the bathroom, and it was
Hmm.
just a repeated cycle the entire week, like nothing, like it never stopped. So I ended
Hmm.
up calling my mom and was like, "Mom, I've been going to the bathroom like a lot, a lot. I think I have a UTI." never thought men could get UTIs, but apparently we can. Uh, so she was like, drink cranberry juice because I know whenever women would have UTIs, that's what the doctor would tell them: drink cranberry juice. So I started doing that, and same thing kept happening. So I was like, okay, this is weird. Well, that weekend I was actually going up to visit some friends at the college I had just graduated from. We went out, um, had us a good time, all that good stuff. Everything was normal because they say when you drink, once you break the seal, that's it. You're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
you going to the bathroom a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's what happened. So I didn't even think anything of it. So that Sunday, I was on my way home. It was about a 2.5, 3 hour drive home. Had to use the bathroom. I was on this road where there was really nothing. It was just like country roads. So I was like, I'm gonna try to make it home without having to go, and I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. Like
You have to
my
pull over.
my bladder was hurting real bad. So I was like, all right, I gotta pull over. So I pulled over, used the bathroom, got home. As soon as I got home, I had to use the bathroom again. Now my
Hey.
bathroom was upstairs because I was
Yeah.
living in a townhome at the time. So I went upstairs to my bathroom. Now in my bathroom, as soon as you walk in, I had one of those slip resistant mats. So I was standing on it, used the bathroom. I took a step back and I just dropped to the floor. Now, I didn't pass out. I didn't lose consciousness. I saw the whole thing happen. I saw myself just drop. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I didn't slip or anything, just drop. Well, when I dropped, I fell on my knee weird, and which happened to be the knee that I injured playing soccer in college.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go tell my parents about this when I get to church. So I told them what was going on, and they was like, all right, you might need to go set an appointment with, a medical clinic or whatever. So that Monday, and this is the week leading up to everything. That Monday, I went to the doctor. They took my they took my my vitals, like my height and my weight. But when they took my weight, I was weighed 161.
Hmm.
3 months prior to that, when I was
Mm-hmm.
sick, I weighed 181. So I lost
Oh,
20 pounds in 3 months, never working out at all.
wow.
So I was like,
That's a big
okay,
deal.
this is weird. This is like
Yeah.
really weird. Now, at the time, and chat, y'all already know how we do it. When we start feeling some type of way, if we start feeling sick, where do we normally go? I
The internet.
went, I went to WebMD.
Web empty.
I typed in my symptoms, and like everything led straight to diabetes, but it couldn't tell me which type it
Which one?
was.
Mm-hmm.
So they did the urine test and everything, and I got back into the waiting area. Doctor comes in and was asking me all the questions of what was going on, and they came back and was like, well, you do have diabetes, but we don't know which type you have until your lab results come back. So they prescribed me some metformin, and there was something else. It was two different pills. Metformin was one, and I can't remember what the other one was, but it was like a horse pill and like a small pill.
Mm-hmm.
So the metformin, they gave me like the biggest milligram you could get, and like it would make me feel kind of weird when I was taking it. Uh, so when I left the doctor's appointment, I went back to work. I was kind of feeling down about it. So I called my mom, told her what was going on, and she was like, "Well, once the lab results come back, we'll know what we need to do," type thing. So I get back to work. I'm telling my coworkers, "Hey, I might have diabetes. I've never had this before. I don't know what's going on. What do I
Right.
need to do?"
Yeah.
Um, and so, no, I went home that night, just thinking about everything. Just kind of praying about it. It's like, you
Mm.
know, if this is what's if this is what my path is gonna look like, God, just guide me through it, type thing. So the next day, which was Tuesday, I go to work, and the receptionist at work, she was also diabetic. So she was like, I normally eat Subway. We'll go to Subway, get lunch type thing. So we go get Subway. We come back. I take like maybe 2 or 3 bites, and I start feeling sick. So
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bathroom, and I just throw everything back up. So I was like, this is not cool. I was like,
Scary.
so I go home. I'm fine. Now I'm still eating normal food,
Yeah.
like because I don't know what I'm supposed to eat, what I'm not supposed to eat. So I'm just
Right. At
eating
this
normal.
point.
Um, Wednesday was the absolute worst day ever. I wake up, I feel terrible. I feel out of it. I don't know what's going on, but like I know that I gotta go to work. Now I wasn't
Man.
like I wasn't and I wasn't feeling like I was contagious or anything. I didn't have a
Yeah.
stuffy nose or anything like that. I just felt weird. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm still gonna go to work because I got appointments coming in. I
Uh-huh.
gotta sell cars. If I don't
Right.
sell cars, I don't make money. So I go in. Well, no, let me backtrack. I call my dad. I tell him, hey, I don't feel good. Something's going on with my stomach. So he brings me Sprite and saltine crackers because apparently back in the day, that's what everybody did to ease a stomach ache.
That still works,
And
bro.
it still
To this
works.
day.
It
Yeah.
still works.
I don't know why,
Um,
but it does.
so he brings that over. I go to work, and like I'm just there. I don't know what's going on. I'm just there. So my customers come in. We go on the test drive and everything, and like I'm talking like very monotone. Like, yeah, this is blase, 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 yada, yada, yada. Just
Mm-hmm.
feeling out of it.
Yeah.
So at this point, they were ready to make a deal. So I go to my boss and I was like, "Hey man, I really don't feel good right now. Do you mind going present these numbers to him while I sit in here?" He's like, "Yeah." So I had my Sprite and my crackers with me. I took a sip of the Sprite and I threw it up in his garbage can. Now I'm sorry guys if this is graphic, but I gotta paint the picture.
Hey, that's the yeah.
I gotta paint the picture.
The
Um,
instantaneous reaction, I think, is worthy of mentioning.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, as soon as I took the sip, I threw it right up in his garbage can. So I get his trash bag out, all that good stuff, and I tell him, I was like, "Hey man, I just threw up in your trash can. I'm taking it out." He's like, "Hey man, go home, get some rest. Hope you feel better." I was like, "Hey, cool." So I go home. Now, mind you, I'm still out of it, but I drive and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I get home. Now again, I live in a townhouse, so my bedroom is upstairs. I make it in the door. I can't move. I cannot go upstairs. My lower back was in so much pain that I had to lay on the couch in the fetal position the rest of the day.
Mm.
Like when I would even when I got up to move, like everything just hurt. So I called my mom and I told her what was going on. She was like, "All right, when I get off of work, I'm gonna bring you a salad, and everything." So she brings me a salad. She's like, "I'm going to church. If you throw up again, let me know." So she leaves. I hadn't touched the salad yet because I'm still laying on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
So I take the food. I take 2 bites of the salad and I take the medicine. After the second bite, I threw it back up. And I was prepared at this point because I had my trash can right beside me.
Yeah.
So
So was it one of those feelings of like just out of nowhere, like
yeah,
didn't even really give you a oh god,
yeah,
okay.
it's just like
That's just straight
surprise.
that's just straight rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I threw it back up and I was like, all right, so let me wait and let me try to take another bite. So I waited for about 30 minutes. I took another bite, threw that back up. So I text my mom and I was like, hey, I threw the food back up. She's like, okay, well, when I get out of church, I'll come pick you up. We'll go back to the house, or whatever. So she comes pick me up, and I get in, and I go lay down because I'm still out of it.
Yeah.
And then my parents, they come check on me, see how I'm doing, see how I'm doing, and then our neighbor, who is actually a member at our church, he comes to check on me. He's also diabetic, so he comes over, and I'm just sitting there like this, eyes closed, just kind of rocking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes my he checks my blood sugar, like he pressed my finger. I didn't even feel it. That's how out of it I
Mm.
was. So when he read my sugar, he looked at me and he looked at my parents like, we need to get him to the ER. And he showed all of us what it was. And my sugar was like over 400. And
Ooh.
so he was like, we need to get him to the ER now before he goes into a diabetic coma.
So not to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
So your sugar was over 400.
Mm-hmm.
What is considered normal and what's considered dangerous?
Normal for most people, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. So normal for me would be between 90 and 150.
Okay.
200, you're pushing it. Anything below 90, like if you go mainly like 70, 70 is normally when you start having low blood sugar. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was between 70 and 150. 200, you're pushing it. 300, yeah, you you,
And
you did something you weren't supposed to do.
and you were at 4.
I was at 4.
Oof.
So they rushed me to the hospital. I get into the ER, and yo, Dr. Snow, what's good, bro? So I get into the ER, and they put me in the operating, well, not the operating room, but they put me in one of the rooms, and they're checking my trying to draw blood. They could not find my veins. That's how
Mm.
bad it was. Now, come
Mm.
to find out, I was just really dehydrated as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they stuck me in both my arms, like 10 times a piece, until they finally found a vein to draw blood. So they finally got me. They put the IVs in me, put saline in me, all that good stuff, and then they put me in ICU. Uh, so a couple days in ICU, and I'm like still out of it. People are coming in and out, family members, church members,
Mm-hmm.
co-workers. I see them coming in, but I'm still
Yeah.
out of it. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
trying not to talk. I'm just going in and out of sleep and everything. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was still having to go to the bathroom like every 5 to 10 minutes, and it sucked trying to use the bathroom in a hospital gown.
Oh, bro. Oh my gosh. So you were like severely dehydrated.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because you probably were deprived of electrolytes too.
Mm-hmm. Cause I couldn't
Oh,
drink Gatorade because
yeah.
of the sugar.
Couldn't drink Gatorade. All that urination, peeing out all of the minerals and stuff. That definitely, like, I guess when you like combine that with dehydration and what you had going on,
Mm-hmm.
you probably felt like you was like a knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah. And so come to find out, once they put me in ICU, and like I could hear the nurses. Like my eyes are open, I can hear them, but obviously I'm still out of it. So they told me and my family that I had to go on DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis. Basically, this is a condition where the ketones, when you have high blood sugar, you have ketones in your system, like in your bloodstream, that become very poisonous. And if they're not taken care of in a very timely manner, it could kill you. So
Hmm.
I was on the verge of death that night. But luckily, and they told my parents, like, luckily you brought him in as soon as you could, instead of, waiting to bring him in. because he could have went into a diabetic coma. He could have died. All this stuff. Um, so
Thank God for the neighbor.
yeah, yeah, definitely, because we didn't have any of that stuff. We didn't have the finger pricking stuff.
Yeah,
So
that was divine intervention for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. So I was in ICU for almost a week, probably about 6 days. Yeah, I was in ICU for about 6 days. Um, the physician came in, talked to me about everything. And by this time, I was starting to kick back in because I was getting the fluids that I needed.
Yeah.
He was telling me, okay, you have type 1. This is what you're going to need to do. This is the medicine I'm going to prescribe. This is the nutrition that you need to look at. Things like that. So I was in ICU for about 6 days, and they moved me to a regular room. And at the time, like, I'm still in grad school, so at this point I'm like, crap, I got papers due.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up doing some papers while I'm in the hospital, but I also emailed our professors and told them what was going on, and like they gave me extension. So I was like, okay, good. By the grace of God, thank you.
Yeah. Right.
um, so I get out of ICU. I'm able to get discharged. I go to a dietitian. He kind of breaks it down, like what I need to eat, what I need to stay away from, all that good stuff. Then we get set up with an endocrinologist or a diabetes doctor, and I'm telling them all the medicine that I've used, that I've been using. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, you're new to this. You don't really need to be using this at all." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Because every time I would take it, it would drop my sugar like really low. So, and this is gonna sound bad, but I
Mm.
was actually okay with it because I wanted to eat some sweets. but it was like a constant thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. Like, this is
Yeah.
really gonna aggravate the crap out of me, especially like if I'm with a customer and my sugar drops. I can't just leave my customer and be like, hey, I'm sorry, my sugar's dropping. I gotta go get something to eat, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we go to the endocrinologist. They do all the bloods, and they told me that my A1C was 12%, which is like stupid high. And for everyone that doesn't know what your A1C percentage is, it's basically a combination of 3 months of blood sugars percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your hemoglobin. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just basically a percentage of 3 months. And in
Right.
those 3 months, my A1C was 12%. So we're asking them all these questions. Could you try again? Shut up, Siri. uh,
Mind your
um,
business.
right, mind your business. So we're asking them all the questions about, okay, what I need to eat, what I need to do, yada yada yada. How can I get on the insulin pump? Well, he says, well, you need to get your A1C down to at least 7% before we can talk
Mm-hmm.
about the insulin pump. So the day I left, he gave me all the tools I needed. He told me this app to download. I'm sure you might have heard of the Calorie King.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me that app. He gave me like a little booklet to where, every day I write a date down, and I check my sugar like 6 times a day. One in the morning when I wake up. One if I eat breakfast. Another one if I have lunch. No, one when I eat breakfast, and then an hour after I eat breakfast. One when I eat lunch, an hour after I eat lunch. One when I eat dinner, and one after I eat dinner. So I'm freaking pricking myself like 6 times a day,
Well,
and I have to record it every time.
right.
Um, I could only eat like I couldn't have a lot of bread, so I was eating like baked chicken, baked fish, like things like that. Not with a lot of seasoning. Obviously, I couldn't have ketchup. I couldn't have any kind of condiment. Brown rice is all I could do, and so that's all I ate. I ate baked
Just
chicken,
high
yeah,
protein and
yeah, and and
complex carbs.
and veggies. That's
Okay.
all I would really do. Um, so 3 months go by, and I get my A1C down to 7%. Like, well, 7.4. Yeah, 7.4. He's like, all right, well, you did good. We're gonna put you on the pump. So they get me set up on the insulin pump, and also the Dexcom, which reads my sugar. So it kind of made it easier for me to not have to prick my finger. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so nope, I'm sorry, I take that back. I got the Dexcom later, so I still had to prick my finger, but I would have to put everything into my pump, so it'll tell me how much insulin is gonna give me whenever I ate.
Gotcha.
Um, so did that, and I was heavy with it. Like I didn't slack up for anything. If my sugar dropped, okay, I'm getting something to drink or I'm eating candy. But I kept doing what I was doing. The next 3 months go by. I go in and like he comes into the room and he was like, I don't know how you did it, and I don't know what you were doing, but your A1C is now 4.9. So it's basically like I didn't have diabetes at all.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
so he was like, man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And I
Right.
like I kept doing it, and like just keeping it between 4 and 5%.
Yeah.
And like he was so amazed at my progress, he wanted me to talk to other people about what I did, um, which led me to meeting this young guy out of Louisiana, young teenager. And I still talk to him to this day. He was diagnosed when he was like 10 and he was just struggling with it. So I drove over to Louisiana to meet him and his mom. And we all
Mm-hmm.
talked about it. And, we formed a very genuine connection with each other. Um, and, he's actually doing pretty well with his diabetes now. I think he's 20. I think he just turned 20 or 21. I can't remember. But he's been doing pretty well with it.
So this can like happen to the youth,
Yeah.
like younger people, not
Mm-hmm.
just adults. I don't
So,
know.
yeah.
It fascinates me a little bit, a lot, to know that the pancreas can just stop producing
Mm-hmm.
insulin
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Right, right. And yeah, he got diagnosed when he was 10. Now I have a coworker that's type 1. She was diagnosed when she was 9.
Mm, mm-hmm,
And then I've heard of even infants when they're like 2 years old getting diagnosed.
mm,
And
hmm.
like that's the part. And I'm gonna be honest with you. That's one thing that really scares me. Like
Yeah, it is.
if whenever I have kids, are they gonna
Yeah.
have diabetes as well? Now, I guess the fact is, I guess even
Well,
though
look
it's
at your
like,
family history.
yeah,
Does anybody in your family have it?
none of my parents don't have it. My granddad on my mom's side had it, and I know I have an uncle on my dad's side that had it, and I think a great great grandmother. So at least three people I know had diabetes.
Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be passed down,
Right,
to
like each
to
generation.
your
Yeah.
right. Not just hold that thought, because
Mm-hmm.
there's two questions I want to ask. But before I ask those questions, it's kind of like me. A lot of people don't know this, but I carry a trait for sickle cell anemia,
Mm-hmm.
and I found this out when I was younger, of course, and I freaked out. I was like, "Oh no," because
Yeah.
that's very a very complex disease to have.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned was I don't have the disease, but I do have the trait for it,
Mm-hmm.
which means that if I have children with somebody who has the trait too,
Mm-hmm.
then the child will end up with sickle cell anemia because you got
Wow.
two parents with the trait.
Yeah.
And I talked to Martrice before we started having children, because that was like a major concern.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or do you have it? And she said she didn't. I'm like, okay, well, cool. It's all right. So
Yeah.
that was one sigh of relief. But yeah, man, like that may not be the case,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you decide because your parents didn't have it,
Right.
and they're up in the age. And I just can't really see something. I can't really see people. Well, I could be wrong, but I can't really see people like older just developing it out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old your parents are, but just to come out of nowhere and develop type 1 diabetes.
Right.
Um, it's very puzzling disease.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a skip over a couple generations and
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So since it got you, probably won't go to the next, but it may be something that your kids may have to deal with. You never know, God
Right.
forbid. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, the two questions I had were so once upon a time, there wasn't any like the technology that you have, the pump and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't exist, at one point,
Right.
way, way back in the day. I don't know how old this disease is or when it was developed
Mm-hmm.
or within civilization. I just I just wonder like what did they do like back then,
Yeah. Yeah. Um.
without modern medicine? How did they live?
Right. Cause I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know if they were giving themselves the shot. When insulin was first discovered, I guess. But I don't know. That's a really great question.
Yeah, I'm talking like what long before like I mean like way back, thousands of years. And I don't know how life was back then. So I
Right.
could tell you this. I know one thing for sure is that a lot of the diseases and stuff that are out today have only been around for less than 100 years or right at 100 years. So that says a lot about, the way the world is.
Yeah. Hey, Alpha Dog, welcome in. Happy Friday evening to you. Hope all is well. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming through.
Welcome.
How is
Welcome.
everything going with you?
The second question was let's just say it's like a zero sugar beverage.
Mm.
Like diet this, diet that, zero this, zero that. Does that have an effect on your sugar?
No, not really.
No.
Mm. I mean that's all I can really drink. You know, my favorite drinks are like Diet Coke, Diet Dr Pepper, Diet Mountain Dew, Sprite Zero.
Hmm.
Zero sugar, Powerade, Gatorade, whatever the case may be. Um, the one thing that I hated when I first got diagnosed was I had to drink like unsweet tea.
Ugh.
I was like, I'm just drinking brown water at this point.
Just tainted water, man.
Like sucked so bad. I was like, I might as well
Ugh.
just drink water, man. Forget
Right.
it.
Why do that to myself? Hey, that's like putting water in a cup and then just throwing some Kool-Aid in it with no
Right.
sugar. Just drink.
Right. Alpha Dog says, I hate not having a CGM. I don't want a fingerprint. Man, I hated it with a passion. Like, even now, like, when I have to reorder my CGM stuff, like my Dexcom, there'll be days I'll have to finger prick, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this with a passion so bad. So, but yeah, I'm definitely with you, Alpha. I had the G6 for a while, and insurance said you got good A1C, you don't need it anymore. I no, I wouldn't take that one, Alpha. I wouldn't believe that because right now, my A1C is pretty good, and I'm still on the G6. Like, don't let the insurance tell you any different, because you're gonna need it.
Hmm.
I mean, now don't get me wrong, like it's easier to finger prick because you don't have to pay for the CGM, but it's easier to have the CGM because you can just look at your phone like, all right, this is what my sugar is, and you don't have to do all the pricking yourself. Uh, I currently have the Libre 2 because insurance, my doctors are fighting. Well, I heard that the Libre 2 isn't a bad one. My coworker, she had the Libre 2 before she started talking to me about it, and now I got her on the Dexcom. So I heard the Libre 2 is not as accurate as they say it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, it's so many different CGMs and pumps out there. Everybody has their preference, but did I answer your other question?
You did.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
You
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You said that the zero beverages don't have an effect on your sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm okay with it. Like, if I can still drink my favorite drinks even in diet form, I'm okay. Now, a lot of people they just don't like diet drink because they're like, oh, it ain't got no taste. Well, you haven't had Mountain Dew.
Yes, they do.
You
They
have
do.
not. You have not had Dr Pepper or the Mountain Dew or the Sprite because they all
Look,
taste the same.
look. They stepped it up with
They did.
zero sugar beverages. Like I like Minute Maid Light. Gosh, they have
Yeah.
like the peach, strawberry. They all taste great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Hey, muffins, welcome in. I
Good
muffins,
evening.
muffins, and actually muffins and I don't know if I think I met Alpha Dog. I think he rated in with somebody. That's how I remember him. But
Okay.
muffins, I think muffins found me. If I'm not mistaken, you found me on the recommended page, or you saw my diabetes tag. So
Yeah.
she's actually one of the newest people that I've met, and I think it's your son or your daughter that has it. I think it's your son, right, Muffins, that has type 1. I met you a long time ago. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, she's a mom of she's a T1D mom. So
Okay. All right. Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah.
The fact that you have other people, who are in the fight, and either have have type one or have a relative or somebody
Hmm.
that may have it as well. So that's the support in the community I've always like thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
With the JDRF and
Hmm.
some of the other streamers and that you've introduced me to
Yeah.
that that have it and deal with it and still decided that they were going to turn it into a positive.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Muffins just got hit with an ad. I think my ads are
Um.
like 3, but we can
What was
look
I
at
going to
these.
say?
I was gonna look at a comment here. Muffin said
Okay. Go ahead.
it comes to adjust insulin for a pop. You might not finish or have died and not worry. The struggles are real. The struggles are definitely real. Like, even though my A1C is it's not where I want it to be now, just because of some crazy insurance nonsense. But that's neither here nor there.
Carlos.
uh,
I don't know if I like that comment. Carlos. He said, "I'm sorry. Minute Maid already feels like a watered down version of whatever flavor it is. Diet Zero version will be worse." Well, here's the thing, Carlos, Mister SRD. The thing is, I don't drink regular soda. So to me, it's heaven. Because I will not drink soda. I just can't do it. So it may be nasty to some people, but to me, it's good enough. I don't care. I mean, most of the here, I do you want speaking of zero, check that out. That's root beer, right? Zero sugar.
Still tastes the same.
A&W root beer. My whole family drinks these. That's big. That's big. Okay. Oh, we black. We're black. I do I need to say anymore?
You
we're,
see all this
we're
melanin up here.
we're black.
Yeah.
People are like, well, what does that mean? It means a lot. Okay, because we don't have Kool-Aid at home. We don't have soda, regular soda. We got that. And then they really like it.
That is hilarious. Oh my
So
gosh.
they like it. The kids. I got my whole family hooked on diet root beer.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
But yeah, man. So water or that for the
Mm-hmm.
most of the
Yeah.
day.
Let's see. Muffin says her daughter has had type 1 for 15 years. She was diagnosed at 20 months.
20 months.
20 months. Like, even infants can get it.
So what are some of the muffins? So what are some of were the signs that made you suspicious as far as like
Yeah, and
because I know you said with your symptoms. I don't know if it will be different
yeah.
in a a
Um,
child.
yeah. And Alpha, feel free to chime in. What were your symptoms? I did leave one symptom out. I did develop dry mouth, too.
Okay.
So, but where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I guess I'm basically done with telling my story. So
It's like that.
yeah, I
That's my
think that
story.
was yeah. I mean, I got my A1C down to 4.9, and I never looked back. It never went up. Um, and I really basically became the model patient in the hospital because everyone else was struggling with it, whereas I just attacked it head on and kept doing what I was supposed to do.
Hmm.
Because obviously, and I've said this and lay experience with you. Eventually, if there's no cure found, this is
Nope, don't say it.
this this is yeah.
No,
We're just gonna leave it at that.
don't say it.
But I mean, yeah,
We're not saying that.
we're
Don't you
not
do
saying
that.
it.
No. What's up? What's going on, Avion? Welcome in, brother.
Hey, Vion Dunn, my boy, welcome in. How's everything going? Alpha Dog said I was diagnosed at 35 on April Fools. Didn't think it was a good April Fools joke. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's a
definitely
dirty
not
joke.
April.
That's
That
a
is
dirty joke.
definitely that is definitely not a good
Man,
April Fool's joke at all, man.
no.
Oh my gosh.
That's a dirty joke. Um, okay. So story concluded.
Yes.
Now, okay. How do you think type 1 diabetes has changed your life? Like, what's different about bearded pre type 1 versus bearded post type 1?
I had to cut out a lot of stuff that I ate. Like a lot of it. And the one thing that kind of honestly it hurt me the most is cutting out candy because I love gummy bears. I love gummy worms. So like the fact that I couldn't eat that anymore, it hurt.
Hmm.
But I knew it was for a good reason.
Okay, so your nutritional
Yes.
choices had to change. So
Mm-hmm.
let's throw a little bit of thought provoking perspectives in the mix. Has it ever like dawned on you that maybe type 1 diabetes was a blessing in disguise? Because a lot of people end up with all different type of like health problems
Mm-hmm.
based on their diet, the
Yeah.
dietary choices and
Yeah.
things of that nature. Has diabetes made you a more disciplined person for as
Uh.
like your choices
Yeah.
or yeah.
Um. Yes and no. and I'm just gonna be honest, because there's sometimes I'll have a cheat day where I'll just I'll get a cookie or something, and I know it's gonna shoot my sugar up, but with my sugar being regulated as it is, um, the highest I've ever seen is like 300. But now that I can have so much control over it, like I don't feel anything. Because normally when I first got diagnosed and was trying to go through everything, I could tell when my sugar was high and I could tell when my sugar is low. Now I can still tell when my sugar is low, but high I just don't feel anything. Um, but we'll have the cheat days. But I still try to eat in moderation. I don't try to eat like big meals, so to speak. That got a lot of bread, a lot of fried stuff in it, stuff like that.
Right.
Um, but when I do, I try to eat it in moderation as best as I can.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would definitely say it's a blessing in disguise because it definitely makes you more disciplined on your eating habits. Um, just making sure that you manage it well because again, if you don't take care of it, you can lose a leg, you can lose toes, or ultimately
Mm-hmm.
you can, you know,
Mm-hmm.
pass away from it because it's taking over your body at this point, and it's hard to come back from it. Um,
Right.
let's see. Uh, checking my comment before the Minute Maid one. Let's see. Which one was that? Oh, one secret for any drink it from a glass container. Water, juice, soda, not sure why, but it feels better than in a plastic cup. I can't do that now, Carlos. I have a wife. Cause I honestly I used to drink milk out the carton, like no problem.
What?
Yeah, if it was just me, I would just grab it and boom, that was it.
Well, he's right. Carlos, I don't know how, things are down there in the Dominican Republic, but up here they serve, oh gosh, this is gonna turn into another conversation. I'm gonna try not to. But they serve a lot of beverages in plastic, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really not good at all. For a lot of different reasons. Some of the properties the plastic is made of. But he's right as far as like drinking a beverage from glass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just it's more fresher.
Yeah.
There's less of a chance that there's any type of like additives
Mm-hmm.
from the the plastic.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that too. Yeah, so overall it's just a lot better.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. Oh, Avion, thank you so much for that happy affiliate. Hope you're doing well, bro. Let's see. Alpha says I changed my diet when I was diagnosed. Now sugary things are super sweet. I still eat them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I try to snack, but not a lot between meals. Um, so I might get like a chocolate chip cookie or something. Um, and try not to have so much of it because I know it'll send my sugar up. But I try to. I'll have a sweet tooth at one point, but most of my snacks are normally like almonds and trail mix and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like healthy stuff. Uh, Muffin says went into children's in DKA 1200 plus was her blood sugar. Was her daughter's blood sugar. She was wheezing
Wow.
hard. She was wheezing hard and vomiting. Then she went unconscious in my arms after the ER doctor sent her home with croup. That is crazy. And I remember you telling me this when you first came into the channel, Muffins. That is wild. 1,200. I think you're like the second person that I've heard that um, their glucose was like over 1,000, and they're still here.
You
You
said
know,
yours was
that's
400, right?
mine was 400.
And she said 1,000 or
She
1,200.
1,200.
Oh my gosh!
Like that's how serious it
Wow.
can get. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you for sharing that,
yes,
muffins.
yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Alpha Dog says he was thirsty all the time, had to pee every 30 minutes, always hungry, never felt full or like I could quench your thirst. Yeah, see, um, I was the bathroom every 10 minutes, and I was thirsty all the time. Hungry? I can't say that I lost my appetite a lot, but I was definitely thirsty.
Hmm.
And then Alpha said his A1C was 14.7 when he was diagnosed.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Wow.
it's wild. It's definitely wild. But to answer your question, Carlos, yeah, I mean we can eat chocolate. Like, because I'm gonna have to explain it like this. Like, some of us have the choice because we can eat whatever we want. We just have to
Yeah.
eat it in moderation.
Right.
That's all it is, and we have to adjust our insulin for whatever we eat. Now, me, just because I wanted to be on the safe side, I didn't. I cut everything out up until now, like chocolate, candy, all that stuff. I cut all of that out up until now. You know, because I wanted to make sure I was okay, because I knew I always had a sweet tooth, and I didn't want to get overbearing with it.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but yeah,
So it would be a
like Muffin
difference.
said, do it.
So, so it would be a difference, like if you ate 2 cookies versus 7 cookies, huh?
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
difference. I mean today I had 2 cookies as a snack, and my sugar went up to like 270.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, for me, 270 isn't bad, but I don't really like to get that high. You know, my goal is to stay between 70 and 150. But I mean, my sugar is normally level at like 150 to between 150 and 170 is where I'm level at every time I wake up in the mornings. So I know anytime I eat, I'm gonna go over 200. I just, as
Mm-hmm.
long as I don't go over 300, then I'm okay. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm cool where I'm at, but for my sake, I need to, adjust somewhere as far as my insulin goes.
I noticed that a lot of people who have like type 1 diabetes have the like a brace, like a bracelet, something that indicates that
Mm-hmm.
they have diabetes. My great grandmother, she had it. She used to wear I didn't realize it really until I was an adult, but she used to have that little emblem on her purse
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that she was a diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And she would prick herself every morning. Of course, me being the kid didn't really register at that time. But so let's just say, we come across somebody. Yeah, that right there. That you yeah. We come
Yeah.
across somebody that is having an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if we come across somebody that's having an episode, what can we do like to assist them like in that point in time?
Um, I would say, and Muffins and Alpha, feel free to chime in. For me, I would say, um, if you come across somebody having an episode, they should be able to tell you what they need. Um, you know, because we as diabetics, we have to carry our stuff with us everywhere we go. Whether
Hmm.
we're on the pump or we're not, if we got pens, we have to carry it with us. So I would say just listen to them. if they're able to talk and kind of relay what they need,
Mm-hmm.
then just listen to them. Because most of the time they're gonna ask you to give them a shot of insulin, because that's gonna help bring their sugar down. Or if they're on the pill, they have to take the pill. Um, Things like that. That's one thing that I love about my channel is that I'm helping people become more aware
Mm-hmm.
of what needs to happen if they come across something like this in this situation. Um, but I think for me, I think when my sugar was high, my mom, because after I got out of the hospital, I stayed with my parents for a good month before. Well, no, a good few weeks before I was able to like actually go back to work. But you know, anytime my sugar was high, my mom would bring me water, or she bring me my medicine to take, things like that. So I think just being able to listen and know what to do in situations like that really helps someone save a life, basically.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's perfect response right there.
Yeah.
Because we may end up being in a situation to
Mm-hmm.
where we're around somebody who is having an episode. Kind of makes me want to be a little bit more take the initiative to be more intentional.
Yeah.
Uh, excuse me, paying attention to somebody that may have that emblem or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, of course. But
Yeah. Uh,
so if you were
s-
to like give somebody a pump, like what would be the proper way to apply the pump, the medicine?
so if they have a pen, I mean they're basically prescribed a certain amount of units. Um, and basically you'll just adjust the units as need, and just kind of, most people, we when I do the pen, I don't just stick it in my stomach and just give myself the shot then.
Mm-hmm.
um and then that's really one way. Now Muffins has a more solid way of doing it. And she says, ask them if they're okay, if they have any medical issues. If they're unconscious, check for ID. Most iPhones have the medical card, which, yes, that is a big thing. If you have an iPhone, please, um, you know, if you have an iPhone, please make sure you do your medical records there, because you'll be able to identify the situation. Um, Look for an orange box in their belongings and give them a dose. Call 911. Help monitor. Glucose can come down easily when paramedics arrive. Um, and yes, the big thing she just said: don't administer the insulin if they are unconscious. Like
Right.
I've never been in that situation, because I know in some situations if their insulin is low and you give them insulin, it, like Muffin said, it could kill them.
So if their insulin is low and you give them and you administer insulin and you know
It's gonna
they
drop it
could
even
pass
lower.
away.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that instance if their insulin is low?
Now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Muffins, like, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, you should be able to check their sugar, like prick their fingers and read
Mm-hmm.
their sugar. Um, and you can give them what is it? Is it glucagon?
Glucagon.
I
Is that
think that's what.
sugar?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
would
like a,
candy work or something?
yeah, like anything that's sweet. Like
Okay.
glucagon is really like, it's a tablet, but it's like
Yeah.
a diabetic tablet where it kind of boosts your sugar up.
Gotcha.
I've never used. I've had some tablets and I've used them before. They didn't really work on me like they work on most people. I don't know why. Cause like I'd pop one in and it wouldn't do anything, so I had to pop like 2 or 3 in before it actually got back to normal. Um, so
Okay. I mean, that's definitely some well, I didn't know.
yeah,
Like I told you, man, this is like educational for for those of us who don't have type 1
mm-hmm.
and
and
who
and yeah, and juices are good for those too. Like
yeah.
anything, orange juice, apple juice, any kind of juice or candy is good. Um,
Now, me being in the fitness industry, I can tell you, like from my experience, sometimes I've had people work out and they get low blood sugar
mm-hmm,
from possibly not real. Most of the time, it's not from eating, like they don't eat before they work out, and then their blood sugar gets low, like they get real flushed in the face,
mm-hmm,
real pale, heart palpitations, and we would give them like something sweet, like a Gatorade or
mm-hmm.
just something like a piece of candy, and it'll just shoot right back up,
Yeah,
and then they're okay.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Muffin says unconscious people cannot tell you. So seeing glucagon, it has picture instructions. So that's always a good thing. Um, one of these days I'm gonna do some more research, and maybe we'll have like another podcast on it. Just to have everybody educated, because I think
Right.
everybody needs to know what to do in certain situations. Um, you know, I got give a big shout out to Mrs. Bearded. Her dad is diabetic, and she helped him through his thing until they were able to get him to a better doctor, and now his sugar's doing a little bit better. So,
Okay.
yo, bearded baritone, we got another bearded brother in here. What's up, man? Welcome in. Hope your Friday's going well. Um, Let's see. Need to head out. Thanks for sharing. Education is great. Have a great night. Yo, Alpha Dog, thank you so much for coming in. We're glad you were able to pop in and give your perspective on diabetes as well, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to
Right.
educate everybody, because we are wanting more people to become more aware of different situations. And again, we are raising money for type 1 diabetes awareness and research. So if you would like to donate, you can type in the chat. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do it real quick. Exclamation JDRF. And I'm going to pin this to the top of the chat real quick. And if you would like to donate, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Or you can scan the QR code at the bottom left of the screen there, and you'll be able to donate whatever you would like. And we just got a raid from Cool
Hey.
Eagle. Welcome in, people. Welcome in, Raiders. How is it going? Cool Eagle is also another member of the JDRF stream team that I'm a part of.
All right.
And he does a lot of the charities as well. So thank you so much for coming in. Uh, Eagle, how was your stream? What were you streaming? Most importantly, how are you doing? Um, Generic Machine, thank you so much for the affiliate anniversary. Uh, Thank you so much for trusting me with your community, Eagle. And I'm gonna get my spiel, even though this is the Two Bearded Guys podcast. We are kind of technically still on my channel.
Hey,
So,
do what you
uh,
got to do.
so Raiders, welcome in. I am Bearded Legend Gaming, variety streamer here on Twitch. When you come here, you get hilarious moments, fun times, and hilariously fun times. So sit back, relax, pull up, catch vibes, not feelings. Let's go. And next to me is my other bearded brother, Initial D. We are the two members of Two Bearded Guys podcast, which we hold over on YouTube on Fridays. But because this is the official day of the charity stream, we are actually doing the podcast here on Twitch tonight.
Yeah, so we switched from red to purple
Yeah,
for one night.
just one shade is darker than the other.
That's it. Here's the thing, man. Like those are some of my favorite colors, like red and purple.
Yeah.
Like, I really like those colors.
But generic, how's your day been? Hope all is well. Let's see. I
Yes,
think I
sir.
missed something up here. Did I miss something from you, Muffin?
Mm,
Oh, don't pour juice in their mouth. They can aspirate. Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely. Don't want to drown them with juice.
right, right.
Oh, but Eagle, I'm doing pretty great, man. We're just doing a podcast on type 1 diabetes. Yeah, actually, if you're just now tuning in, I told my story about how I found out how I was diagnosed and everything. So we're just actually, kind of discussing them on chat, different things to look for as far as symptoms and what happens when you come across someone that is having an episode.
Very,
But
very educational stuff. I've learned a lot for
yeah,
sure.
and Eagle, if you wanna put out there, you know what your symptoms were when you found out, or if you are a T1D parent, things like that. Feel free to put it in the chat. Stream went real good. Played some Baldur's Gate. How was that? Because a lot of people, I've been
Ooh,
seeing a lot of people play
Baldur's
that
Gate.
game, and everybody loves it.
Yeah, yeah. I played Baldur's Gate, Deadly Alliance. No, Dark Alliance or something like that.
Uh huh.
PlayStation 2 many years ago.
Yeah.
I never really came back to it, but I keep hearing everybody talk about this game. I may have to like look into it.
Right, right. um, let's see. Mine was with my son at 14 months old. They thought it was the flu. So
How
they,
how do you compare that to the flu?
because I think with the flu, I mean, you still get like the body aches. Cause
Mm,
like I said, my body was aching like big time. You know, even though my lower back was on fire, you still get the body aches. Um,
mm,
and I think what I can think of, that's really all it was for me. Um, but something very wrong since he wasn't walking, crying, just wanted to cuddle with my wife. Was like that for a few days. We honestly almost lost him, which is scary, man.
mm.
And then just like he just said, the scary part about the whole situation was he couldn't talk and tell him what was
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Like,
It's like you really got to pay attention.
yeah, yeah. And see that
Tap.
that part right there, I think that would almost make me nervous because like the symptoms that I had might not be the symptoms that my child would have depending on you know when it manifests itself. So you really have to like be careful. Like, you know, what might be RSV might not be RSV.
Okay. Yeah, man. That's um. Again, I'm looking at the title in which you decided to name the stream. The invisible disability. It's a disability that because I'm looking at you. You don't look like anything is wrong with you. You don't look like you have a disability whatsoever. But it's type 1 diabetes is I have to put it upon the list of other chronic disability,
Illnesses.
invisible
Yeah.
disabilities that they are, because there's quite a few that people
Yeah.
aren't really aware of,
Mm-hmm.
that you can't see
Right. Right.
on a person. Not all disabilities are visible. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that since this is like a disability that is invisible, that what you're doing right now, and those of you who are part of the JDRF community, it's really your duty, I'd say, to make people aware
Mm-hmm.
that hey, you can't always see this, but you need to know because you may work with somebody who has type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Your neighbor may have it, or you just may be in public when someone may have it. And because you guys are spreading awareness, you're teaching people like myself who really don't know anything about type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
I may run into somebody tomorrow who may have it. I don't know.
Right, right.
But I'll know in advance, what not to do, what to
Yeah,
do, how to, you know, handle the situation. Of course, call the, 911, of course, but
yeah, yeah,
there's just some things that probably can be done on site. Because
yeah.
as you said, a lot of people have to carry all the time,
Mm-hmm.
upon leaving home. So,
Yeah. Yo, Ja, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for the happy affiliate anniversary. Hope you're doing well. We're actually doing our podcast, which we normally do on YouTube. We're actually doing a special podcast over here to celebrate my charity event with the JDRF and raising money for type 1 diabetes awareness and research. I'm going to hop back in these comments real quick. And then I'm going to actually tell you what my diagnosis actually was as well.
all
Because
right.
I forgot to tell you about that one. So Cool says we are hyper vigilant now for our daughter who is older. She doesn't deal with the pokes as well as my son does. Man, I'm telling you, those pokes are horrible. They were absolutely horrible. Muffin says the rapid breathing, nausea, increased urination. Babies can't tell us. I got you. So basically, like I had the increased urination. Nausea. I guess you could say I had nausea, but mine actually manifested itself the day I went into the ER. And then rapid breathing. I didn't have any breathing problems when I got diagnosed. Um, Eagle says one thing I love about some of the tech now is it makes T1D a bit more visible. When I see a Dexcom in the wild, I get excited. I am the same as that way, Eagle. Like there have been people like customers that come into the dealership where I work, and I'll see like they'll have the Libre on their arm, and I'll immediately be like, "Hey, are you? I see you got the Libre on your arm. Are you type 1, type 2?" And when they tell me they're type 1, we get to talking and things like that. So anytime I see somebody with an Omnipod, I'm always excited. And, it just makes me want to talk to them because I guess for my personality, I'm a sociable person. So, especially if I see somebody that's got the same things that I have, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like it's only right. You share something in common with somebody, especially something like that. You kind of got to stick together. I
Oh, yeah,
feel
yeah, for sure.
so.
Oh,
Let's hear it. So, what was your diagnosis?
okay. So, and this is kind of going back into my story. If you missed it, so I went into the ER for DKA. The date was actually January 31st, but I always say my anniversary is February 1st because that's when the doctor came in and told me that I was diabetic. Um, so when the doctor came in and told us that I had diabetes, he told me that it was 1.5, like type 1.5, one and a half. And
Mm,
basically, I have what they call LADA, LADA, which is latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. So, and this is basically where the onsets of diabetes shows itself in young adults. Because, like I said, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 31.
mm,
So it's almost like it makes me think sometimes that okay, maybe I've had it all this time and it finally just blossomed.
yeah, yeah,
And I hate to use that word blossom, but they call it 1.5, but they treat it as type 1. So I'm still on the insulin and everything.
Hmm. That's interesting
So
to think
type,
that
yeah,
you could have been had this like for years,
mm-hmm,
and it just manifested itself
yeah.
when you turn 31.
So type 1 when it hits adults, yes. That's basically what they told me it was, muffins. And like, and the stories that I hear, like, well, not necessarily stories, but I hear that like, it's tougher when you get diabetes as an adult than when you were a kid. I mean, it hit me like the first couple months because I was still trying to get used to everything, but after that, it's just kind of slowed down. Like
Mm.
I'm I can be insulin dependent, but at the same time, I don't have to be insulin dependent because like I don't produce a lot of insulin, but I produce some, is so to speak. But they still want to say they still want you to use the insulin just in case because your pancreas is already not producing enough insulin as it is.
Right.
So you still have to use your pumps and your pens to help your pancreas out.
Carlos said instead instead of blossom, he says it flared up.
It flared up. Yeah, yeah. That's a better word.
We can. That's. I guess
That's
that's
a better
appropriate.
word. That's definitely a better
Blossom.
word.
That doesn't sound like anything wonderful. So just blossomed.
uh,
It's changed my life.
I mean, as a type as a type 1, the islet cells are dying. They don't come back. Yeah. You are a bigger kid. We'll throw bigger tantrums. We want what we want. No one says no.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
uh,
Kids get what we give them. Do what we ultimately say. True.
yep, that's true. Cause
Yeah.
I'm
I
telling
told you, man.
man,
Like the discipline, man, is like it's got to be tremendous.
I'm telling you, it hurt my heart when they told me I couldn't have sweets no more. I was like,
That's life altering.
bruh. I mean, gummy worms, gummy bears, and I love eating cereal. Like if I don't eat actual dinner or lunch, I will eat cereal all day. And my favorite cereal was Lucky
Gosh.
Charms, like because I love the
Oh
marshmallows.
Lord. Yeah. I now cereal's dangerous. Like I could eat cereal all day. I haven't had cereal in probably 6 months plus.
Really?
We don't buy cereal
Mm-hmm.
because all of us have different tastes,
Yeah.
and my kids they cannot agree on cereal, and cereal is expensive.
Oh my
So I'm not
goodness.
gonna buy three different type of cereals and
Right.
then one for nah. So I like no one's eating cereal. So screw it, man. Nobody gets cereal since you guys can't agree on one cereal.
Right. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So adjustment to a new issue of our health are way harder. Yes, it really is. It really is.
Well, we got a dono.
Yo, cool eagle with the $20 dono. Uh,
Amazing. All right.
Thank you for the donation, but now I have to do something crazy, so I'll be right back.
Oh, so you just gonna leave me here unattended? Oh man. So I don't know what he's planning on doing, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. But while he's away, I want to thank everybody here for being here supporting the podcast. That was fast. I didn't have to talk too much. There he
Okay,
is.
so don't bring care baby food. Actually, Carlos, I ain't got my baby food yet. So,
Oh, baby food.
yeah. So I got two things that I'm waiting on right now. I'm waiting on my spicy bean boozle, and I'm waiting on my baby food. But because Eagle donated $20, I have to eat a spicy pickle and it's got like
Man,
15 different spices, and it's got like cayenne pepper, chili powder, red peppers, minced garlic,
in other words,
jalapenos.
y'all get ready to clip it. How about that?
Yeah. And
Don't-
these have been in my refrigerator for 5 weeks, so all the juices are like embedded in this pickle right now.
Man, that just. Oh,
Are you gonna pie your
okay.
face? So muffins. Actually, if we hit $1,000, I said I was gonna do the ice bucket challenge. But I think if we hit 500, I was gonna pie myself in the face. So yeah.
Ooh,
Come on off of there,
no.
lid.
Yes, I did, Carlos. I saw that. I saw that the baby food. It was better him than me. Well, this is
Come out
great
of
way to end
there.
the night.
Get out of there.
Get your
Actually, I
fork.
don't. I don't like that. Yeah, it's okay.
Send that jar to bear.
Oh my gosh. Now here's the thing. I'm not finna just like take a bite and chew. I'm finna put the whole thing in here.
Oh,
So let me dip it in the juice a couple more times. Just to make sure I get some spicy.
that confirmation.
Alright. Here we go.
Faces.
Dear Lord, it's me again.
It just hit him too. it just hit him. It just hit him.
Oh, oh,
That thing interrupted his prayer.
oh, 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 oh my gosh. It might be a long night. It might be a long night. Now you thought that was bad? Wait till I get these spicy beans. The spicy bean boozle.
Oh yeah, I remember
Now,
those.
and I'm gonna throw this out there, y'all. I have eaten the world's hottest gummy bear, and I've eaten the world's hottest beef jerky. The beef jerky was by far the worst one. These pickles aren't really nothing compared to that beef jerky or the gummy bear. But, as a matter of fact, I got some Carolina. Ooh, did I throw? I don't know if I got them anymore. I did have some Carolina Reaper beef jerky too. That was rough.
Have you tried the blue chip the one chip
Nope, not gonna do it.
challenge? No.
Not gonna do it.
Why not?
Not gonna do it. You say do it for the vine, and I'm gonna say not gonna do it.
Hey, we got limits.
We got limits. That was a limit. Get Mrs. Bearded to pie you. She could use the cathartic energy from that.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
she'll happily do it again. Trust me. She'll be the one that does the ice bucket challenge too. So I'm sure she'll enjoy it big time.
Carlos said he needs some milk.
Yeah. You send me a DM, muffins. All right, bet. uh, I'm gonna read it here soon, muffins. So that was one thing. that I was looking into, and actually, my mod Panda, she sent it to me on TikTok. There's this, and Muffins and Eagle, y'all may have heard of this group, but it's a foundation called the Embrace Foundation. Um, I I saw them on TikTok, and basically this foundation, they ship out diabetic supplies to people who are in need for free.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I was actually gonna reach out to them about doing a collab here in the future.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So because I me from experience knowing how hard it is to get like your diabetic supplies, especially when insurance is being a butthole. Cause I'll be honest with you, after I switched jobs, my insurance didn't cover all of my supplies. So I was paying almost $600 for my pumps and my sensors. Like every,
Man,
if not every month, every 3 months. So I would have to split it up to where okay, I'll get my pumps this time and only pay so much, and then I'll get my sensors another time to only pay so much, and it was like this is just ridiculous. Excuse me. Whoop. There go the spices. It was just like ridiculous, and all I was relying on at the time were pens. So my A1C took a spike for a short period of time. My A1C went from 4.9 to like 8, and that was in like 6 months. It went up
mm,
to 8, but now I've gotten it back down to like 6. Yeah, 6.5 was the last reading I got. But man, just paying so much money for diabetic supplies, it's like ridiculous. Like
mm,
how can y'all expect us to live longer if we can't get the right equipment that's affordable? And that's one thing that the JDRF is trying to do. You know, we have people in Congress that are trying to uh, fight for insulin
right.
affordability, and that's why if anyone here follows me on Twitter, you see in my header, I got hashtag insulin for all
Yeah,
because all diabetics need insulin. More so type 1 than type 2, but some type 2s need insulin as well, but it needs to be affordable.
yeah. Oh yeah. I 100% agree with that. Uh, Making it to where it's ridiculously expensive kind of makes one wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you care? Do they care?
Right. Or they just
You know
care
what I'm
about big
saying?
pharma and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. But that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to not like push it too far because I could talk about that all night. But because the fact is, I'm sure there are some people out here who need it who cannot afford it.
Mm-hmm.
We know this to be a fact, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So hopefully, whatever is being presented to Congress, passes
Mm-hmm.
because it's essential for life. There's people who don't have type 1 diabetes whose their bodies are producing insulin normally,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's people who don't,
Yeah.
and that's not it's not right. It's not fair, I'll
Right.
say.
Right. Yeah.
And if we know there is a way that they can live normal lives, then that really should not be taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
That's dirt to me. That's just dirty.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Big time agreed. Eagle says I was paying something like 20K a year for health stuff plus insurance before my new job. Oh my gosh.
20K.
20K. Man,
just to live.
just to live. Not on top of like mortgages and other stuff that you
Right.
gotta pay for.
Right.
Like, I mean, luckily, my insurance and my new job, my everything is like $55 for me. So it's like, well, not everything. It's like $55 a piece. So that's total $165 if I have to buy all three things at one time. But that's like with the Omnipod 5, you only get 5 pumps. So once you run out of 5 pumps, and they're supposed to last you like the entire month, because I have to change mine out every 3 days, and they're supposed to last you for a whole month. So then you have to re up the next month. That's another $55. So if you look at the math, and let's just say you have to get all three things. Mm, we'll say 165 times 12. That's $1,900 a year for me,
Mm.
on top of my rent, which is
Still a lot.
still a lot.
Still a lot.
So I'm forking out so much money right now, and it's just crazy. I
And
mean,
again, it's a price that people who don't have type 1 diabetes don't have to pay.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something definitely needs to be done for
Yeah,
sure.
something definitely needs to be done. Um, do you have any other questions or?
Um, no, man, I feel like you did a really good job at presenting, educating us
No.
on what type 1 diabetes is, and for the questions that I did have, you did a really good job at answering those questions. And I think the big takeaway for me is, just being more aware
Mm-hmm.
of my surroundings and the people that that are around me who may have type 1 diabetes. And thanks to you and a couple of people here in the chat,
Yeah,
giving me some good intel,
yeah,
to
that's.
take out to the world. I feel like every day we learn something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely for sure. And I'm glad that we were all able to, chime in and comment. So big shout out to everybody, Muffins, Alpha, Eagle, Carlos. Thank y'all so much for your comments. Now, Muffins, you had mentioned earlier about temporary tattoos. Like, you're gonna have to message me about that, because I'm actually, and this is gonna sound bad, but
Mm,
two charity streams ago, my community raised enough money, and I told them I was gonna get a tattoo. It was gonna be
mm-hmm,
a diabetic tattoo, and basically it was going to be, it was kind of gonna be the medical symbol, but instead of like the staff going down the middle, it was gonna have type 1 diabetic going down as the staff. And I have my boss at work is actually an artist, so he's been working on it. So I'm waiting for him to finish it, and then I'm gonna try to get like a henna or a temporary tattoo that can last for like 2 weeks to see how it's gonna look. Cause I'm gonna put it like right here on my forearm.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, Muffins, shoot me another message about those temporary tattoos, because I would love to look into that. Um, and I guess one more thing, guys. Again, this is the official charity event kickoff. Um, if you wasn't here earlier when I was talking about my theme for this year's charity stream, um, this year's theme is called "Don't Stop Believing." I'm sure everybody knows the Journey song, "Don't Stop Believing." The reason I picked this for my theme is because um, it's just a reminder to don't stop believing in a cure for type 1. Don't stop believing in a better future for diabetes, for diabetics, and also, first and foremost, don't stop believing in yourself, because if you stop believing in yourself, who's gonna believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? So that is my message to everyone, whether you're diabetic, whether you're not diabetic, don't stop believing. Hold on to
Yeah,
that feeling.
it's true. You know, we
So
confidence right there. People are attracted to confidence. You know, confidence comes from believing in your own abilities.
hmm
You know, believing that you can achieve something, believing that you can make something out of nothing, and so on and so forth. So
right.
I like that. That's a really good way to kick it off.
That's
Like real talk.
yes, yes.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, man, I think this was a great episode. You know,
yes,
once again, like every episode is good. I feel like this was a nice little change up over here on Twitch.
yeah,
You know, we do our thing over on YouTube as well, but you know, this is good. This is real good.
yeah. I definitely enjoyed this. Definitely. Um, Dude, before we end, guys, does anybody have any questions, comments that they want to say? Feel free to put it in the chat. I'm actually looking for somebody to raid right now. I would love to
Hmm.
raid somebody that is on the JDRF stream team if they're live. I don't know if they're live or not.
That'd be
Uh,
great.
but Cool or Muffins, if y'all know anybody that is live right now, let me know and we'll try to raid them out. I want to say Lou, is he? I don't think. No, he's not live. He was live earlier, but because I'm trying to think who else would be. I think most of the crew ended early. I think so. I think so. Because I was actually supposed to be in that Apex tournament with Lou and everybody, but they were doing it while I was at work, so I wasn't able to join like I wanted to. Um,
Play Apex?
I did. I started playing it and then like I didn't have anybody to play with at the time, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna play it.
Uh,
not by myself at least.
I
Um,
want to at least try. I mean, I played it by myself, and I didn't get much out of it.
right. Um, Everybody is playing the Texas Chainsaw game. I gotta download it real quick.
I see at least one person. Well, I see a couple of them playing it on my
Man,
end.
dude, that game is DBD on steroids.
Oh gosh.
Like, it's good. It's like really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I played the beta. It was fun. You know what? Let's go raid Berserker. I ain't raided Berserker in a while.
Playing only up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go right out to our bro Berserker. Cause I don't see anybody else from the JDRF community on right now, which I'm pretty sure I'm the last one, the late one. So
Yeah.
um we're gonna go raid out to just Berserker, the Berserker. Awesome content creator. Um, no, he is a man of God, just like me and Initial here. But a couple of announcements. This coming up Saturday. I won't be live this Saturday, but one of my bros, Avion Don, who was actually here in the chat earlier, he will be celebrating his birthday with a birthday stream, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I think he's going all the way to midnight. It's gonna be fun. Um, so if you want to come through, check him out, show him some love, wish him a happy birthday, all that good stuff. Tune in. I was planning on streaming Sunday night, but I forgot I have an NFL fantasy draft that night, so I won't be able to stream. So I'm actually going to move that day to next Wednesday and do a charity slash birthday stream because my birthday is actually next Wednesday.
All right.
So we'll probably hang out, have some fun, all that good stuff. Um,
Nice.
and I know D has something that's about to happen here soon, so I'm gonna let him explain this one.
Oh yeah. So those of you in the chat, my name's Initial D, and I stream over here on Twitch. And I do just chatting, I play games, but one of the segments that I broadcast that's very popular is my own podcast. It's called Le Experience. I've actually been podcasting since about 2018, so it's very natural to me. And then to team up with you, Bearded, has made this even more fun, honestly. But I've not broadcast a singles podcast this entire year, just because I'm dealing with work and kids and things of that nature. So we're bringing back the experience for the fourth season. This will be my 21st guest, and it will be August the 26th, which is a Saturday at 5 p.m. CST. And I have a guest by the name of Divine Dragon. He's about to be retired from the United States military, and so he's been serving that country for a really, really long time. Awesome guy, um, gamer, anime. He's a brother for the most part, and he's been rocking with me like nearly since the beginning of my journey. So he's going to be the first one that we're going to bring on the podcast. And there is another guest that will be the following week, which I said I wasn't gonna like disclose until after the first episode because
Yeah.
I didn't want to conflict anyone's shine. I want him to get that
Mm.
that shine as well. So yeah, we're gonna be bringing that back. I'm gonna try to have at least 2 to 3 podcast episodes a month. At one point, I was doing it like every week. I don't want to get overwhelmed. So I'm gonna have at least 2 to 3
Mm-hmm.
every single month. So um
Awesome.
typically I stream on Saturdays and Sundays at about 6 p.m. CST. So I'm a weekend warrior. I don't really have time to do it throughout the week. If I do, then it'll be a pop up, and you know you'll see me when you see me. If you don't, then Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. CST will be the time period that I stream. But tomorrow it will not be at 6 p.m. CST because I got to work a little later than usual on Saturday. So we'll probably be booting things up maybe between 8 and 9 tomorrow. So it's gonna be like kind of like today.
Okay.
It's gonna be a late stream tomorrow. So
Yeah.
and then business as usual on Sunday.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Good deal. Good deal. Um. Well, yeah. Once again, guys, we thank y'all so much for being here. Again, if you would like to donate to the charity, we got the donation link pinned to the top of the chat. You can also scan the QR code at the bottom left, or you can go to my channel page and click on the donation panel, and it'll take you straight to it. If you can't donate, that's no harm, no foul. But one thing that I would love, that I would ask of you, if you would do so kindly, if you don't mind sharing, um, sharing the charity, on your socials or anything. Now I know Eagle, I know you're doing one as well, so I can share yours as well, and we help each other out, because that's what we're all
Right.
about here. Again, we're wanting to make everything more aware in the community, reach new people, maybe reach new diabetics who may be viewers or they may be streamers that we never met, and we want to invite them into our community. Uh, but without further ado, guys, we are going to go raid out to Mr. Berserker. Let's go show him some mad love. He's playing only up right now, so
I still gotta try that.
oh yeah, it's tough. It is very tough. Um, But guys, once again, we thank y'all so much, and also, and I forgot to do this. Let me cancel this real quick. Even though we are here on Twitch right now, we still have our podcast over on YouTube. We're normally over on YouTube, so if you guys would like to check out our channel, Two Bitty Guys podcast over on YouTube, there is the link. We would love to have you over there. We do podcasts every other Friday. This one just happened to be a special Friday. Um, so yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you there. We talk about all different things. We don't talk just about streaming. We've talked about marriage. We've talked about generational wealth. Uh, all different types of topics. So again, feel free to hit that link. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. I promise you, you're gonna be in for a treat because we have so much fun doing this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but other than that, guys, thank y'all so much. Much love to y'all. Bearded out.
Right. Have a blessed night. Peace.